I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. We are going through all 11 classes here by the class cards for all 11 cards that are coming out in March of the Lich King. We are already down to Shaman, so we are trucking along. We're going to use 10 as the worst card in Shaman and 1 as the best card in Shaman. And let's start off with 10. Number 10 is From the Other Side. It's a 10 mana shadow spell for Shaman that says summon a copy of each minion in your hand. They attack random enemy minions, then die. Oh Lord, is this card bad. Turn 10, you're wanting to win the game. This is not the point at which you want to just do something to trade. This is when you want to be winning. This is when you want to end stuff. This is not going to win you a game. This is maybe going to help you regain the board at this particular time. 10 mana is heavy. You need to have minions in your hand. You need to have a heavy hand on turn 10. And if you have a heavy hand on turn 10, why do you have a heavy hand on turn 10? Most people don't, by turn 10, their hand is basically like empty. And then even when you do that, you summon out minions. They have to attack random enemy minions, so they can't go face or anything like that. And then they die. I mean, they're copies, so you don't care that they die. But, you're basically looking for, I don't know, maybe death rattles to get off of this. But right now, at this particular point, the death rattles that exist in Shaman are summon a 1/1 Tiny Fin and get a weapon. There are 2 death rattles in all of Shaman, so yeah, you can get a death rattle from the neutral set. There's some good neutral death rattles, I won't deny that. But turn 10, that's a lot of mana to not do a lot of stuff. Number 9 for us is going to be the Unliving Champion. Unliving Champion is a 3 mana 3/2 that says if a friendly undead died after your last turn, summon 2 3/2 zombies. The zombies, of course, are undead. Right now in the game, before the patch came out, there's exactly 1 undead creature in all of Shaman. Yeah, you can use like neutral stuff, and there's some undead that are coming out in this particular set to help it out. But you don't really even have that much undead on this side. Even if you throw in every undead in here, you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4 more undead. So she's not bad if you can get an undead to die before her. The problem is that most of the time she's going to be your undead that's starting that chain. Because if you can get an undead to die before her, that's a ridiculous amount of stats. Because you send her out at that particular point. Because you get her, and you get 2 other zombies. So you basically get three 3/2s, but getting that undead is a lot harder than you think it is. They don't have many undead in Shaman. Next up for us is going to be number 8. Number 8 for us is Shadow Sufferance. Shadow Sufferance is give your minions staff rattle, deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. This is basically the same ability that Violet Skeleton has. This is basically saying give Violet Skeleton's ability to a creature, but do 1 more damage. It costs 1 more mana. Fair cost. You're not going to be glad sometimes unless you can somehow get it so that you're going all to face, which means that your opponent doesn't have any minions that this can trigger. If you can get that to happen and then you can kill your board, great. But, then you gotta wipe your own board to have that happen. So, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Next up for us is number 7, which unfortunately is the legendary in this particular set. Overlord is a 9 mana 6/9 with Rush Wind Fairy. After this attacks and kills a minion, resurrected on your side. So this is basically Rush Wind Fairy, and if it kills something, you kind of get Sylvanas as effect. Problem is again, you're playing it on turn 9. On turn 9, it's hard to kill something with that 6. It's even hard to kill something with that 12 if you can survive the 8 that's coming back to you. And that's the problem. This is helping you rebalance out the game. This is helping you rebalance the board. On turn 9, you're not looking to rebalance the board. Next up for is number 6. Number 6, the pay will show up, that'd be great. Is the Blight Blood Berserker. Blight Blood Berserker is an 8 mana 3/8 with Taunt, Lifesteal, Reborn, and Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to an enemy hero. The problem with this one is, again, you're talking turn 8. This is going to get you some health back because they got to run through this. You're gaining 3 each time they hit this. You're gaining, it has the reborn, so it comes back. It's dealing 6 damage to random enemy minions. But you're at turn 8. This is helping you rebalance the board. And it's great that this is helping with rebalance the board, and I'm glad there's some defensive cards. But it's hard to have a defensive card. Defensive cards generally have not seen play. Next up for us is number 5, so we're kind of getting to the middle. And unfortunately, number 5 is the other legendary that's coming out of Shaman. So this is Rockgill. It's a 5 mana 3/6 undead murloc. It says battle cry, give your minions death rattle, give your minions +1/+1. So that means when this comes out, if you have 2 other minions on the board, they each get that when they die, they give your other minions +1/+1. So the first one gets killed off, it'll make the other one want a 2/2. And then when that kills off, that'll make this have +1/+1 for the first one, and +1/+1 for the second one. So this will get +2/+2 for each one. The problem with this is by the time you get to turn 5, your opponent has ways to AoE kill, usually. So if they AoE kill and they kill everything at the same exact time, none of the death rebels trigger and nothing really gets buffed. If they can't AoE kill, or if you can trade in on your turn, that's going to help you make this into a better card, but then you need the board to trade in, and you're doing a trade in at that particular point. It's not a bad trade-in, because everything of yours gets really pumped at that particular point, including the rocket itself. But then the board is set up for that particular set, and at that particular point, you've already sort of won, and you're just kind of snowballing at that time. Next up for us is number 4. Number 4 for us is the Harkender of Dread. Harkender of Dread is a 5-mana 2/2 that summons a 6/6. If you're looking for this card, it already exists. You can play it right now. It's just called Sludge Belcher. Sludge Belcher does not see you play it right now. I do not see why adding a second Sludge Belcher to your deck, to your hand, to whatever is going to make you play this. Oh, come on. Sludge Belcher is a 5-mana 3/5 that summons out a 1/2, both of which have taunt. This is basically the flip of a Sludge Belcher, where it starts off tiny with it being a 2/2, which technically is better than a 1/2. And then it makes a 6/6, which is technically better than a 3/5, but in this particular time, that's not that much better. If anything, all this does is make it so that your 5 of all 4 gets a little bit worse going forward. That's saying something when your card that's basically as good, if not worse, than Sludge Belcher. Next up for us is going to be number 3. Number 3 is Pestilence. Pestilence is a 4-mana shadow spell that says draw 2 minions. If for each that costs 5 or more, summon a 2/3 spirit with taunt. And this card is just good for drawing minions. You don't care if they cost 5 or more, you don't care if they cost 1. Shaman needs draw. They take the weirdest draw. If they had a card that was lose 20 health and draw a card, they would probably try to run it. There is just like no draw in Shaman. The draw that you really have in Shaman at this particular time You got the wind chill, the arcane knowledge, and you've got primal dungeoneer. I mean, you've got the Matite totem, and this is basically the same ability as a lot of those other ones, and all of those see play just because Shaman doesn't have draw. And there are some 5-drops that you wouldn't mind running in Shaman if you're running big Shaman. You know, that's the time at which you're starting to get into like lily pad worker, and that's also the time at which you're starting to get into if you're playing Murlocs, that's when you can play your Ravager. You know, dedicated draw, basically search engine for 4 to draw 2 isn't that bad, and if they happen to be more than 5, you get a spare. That's not the bad part for Shaman. Number 3 for us was the Pestilence. The number 2 for us is going to be the Deathweaver's Aura. Deathweaver's Aura is a 2-mana a shadow spell that says give a minion Death Rattle summon 2 3/2 zombies with taunt. This is anti-aggro on a stick. Do they have taunt? No, they don't have taunt. It's just anti-aggro. They don't have taunt, sorry. So this is just a way to really make it so that you can have a sticky target. Because you kill any minion that's a low minion, and now there's 2 minions that take its place. And the best card for Shaman, and it's saying something that this is the best card for Shaman, is the Scourge Troll. The Scourge Troll is a 1-mana 1/3 that says you're when this dies, the Death Rattles on it trigger twice. And the thing about that is it's a 1-mana 1/3, and it's an undead, and 1-mana 1/3s have always seen some sort of play. And this is basically adding the effect of let's see if I can find him real quick. Oh, he's undead. I can just run twice and get it. Baron Revendell. Baron Revendell is basically on this card without being on this card. So if you can somehow throw some Death Rattles onto this, it's not that bad. There are some Death Rattles that can be thrown onto this through either creatures that exist or even some spells that exist. Basically what you're trying to do is play this one on turn 1 and then play this on turn 2. So you play the Troll on 1 and the Aura on 2. The Troll on 1 and the Aura on 2 is basically going to mean that when this dies, you summon 4 3/2s right off the bat. That's a strong turn 2. So that's all the 10 cards for Shaman. Not a lot of winners in my opinion. A lot of just stuff that doesn't look good, but I will give Scourge Troll the honorable mention because I think that might just be enough to see something happen. Because 1/3s are always good cards and they always see some sort of play. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember, play full